Self-Love is the New Sexy, the podcast devoted to helping you overcome life's most painful and stubborn challenges so you can feel great, have more energy, and live stress-free every day. To reach your full potential, simply work with the powerful spiritual principles that are readily accessible to everyone. It's easier than you think, and on today's show, W. Mark Watts is going to show you how starting with self-love is the key to joyously and harmoniously making that happen.
Hey everybody, this is W. Mark Watts. Welcome and thank you for hanging out with me for another episode of Self-Love is the New Sexy. And today's episode or today's podcast is entitled Believe. Believe. And I'm going to read to you. I'm actually going to do something a little different than I normally do. As you know, I typically prepare for each episode that I record and release. And today, as I'm going through my normal routines, I'm going to, first of all, read a short quote from a website that I look at daily for inspiration to help get my day started. I'll give you that name. But right now, I am going to basically freestyle. I'm going to go off the cuff. I'm going to read the short excerpt from today, and then I'm going to see what the universe, God, source sends me to share with you today. Now, that's a little scary, and I don't recommend this. However, trust. Part of this message today is believe, and I'm going to believe that something positive, something good is going to come out of this episode, and I'm going to flow with it. So here we go. So today's podcast, again, is entitled Believe, and there's a website that I go to pretty much daily called dailyword.com, dailyword.com, and they give short, brief, inspirational messages each and every day, 365 days a year. There's no fee for it. You can just go onto the website and it'll be there. You click a button and then you'll see the full version of what the message for that day. So today's message was or is believe. I believe I am wonderfully made. What I believe about myself determines my capacity to grow. I connect with my full confident expression and engage the circumstances of life with poise and tenacity. I believe in myself as a spiritual expression of infinite intelligence, and I meet every challenge with courage and strength. As I take this time to quiet my thoughts, I replace any self-doubt with the belief that I am the image and likeness of God, wonderfully made. I believe that I possess all the talents and abilities I need to overcome any limitations. My powerful and joyous contribution to the world's good is possible because I believe myself to be a conscious agent for beneficial change. I make valuable contributions to the spiritual evolution of humanity. Now, when I read that, it was so powerful. It touched me so much, and I just think it's so beautiful that I wanted to devote one of my episodes to it. And there's so much to unpack in this that, the title is so apropos, Believe. And that's what I want to, iterate the most is each one of us, we have to believe something. Or we have to believe some things. What are those things for you? What are those things for me? For example, as I've grown older, once I got out of my teens and moved into my 20s and more so in my 30s when the whole spiritual thing started to kind of ruminate around me. And I started questioning and thinking things and feeling things. And starting to understand that I was feeling things, it became obvious that I started to feel and believe that I have to do things that make me happy. And that was one of the reasons that I was able to figure out that I no longer wanted to be married. I wanted to be in that relationship because it did not make me happy at my core. And so I had to make some changes. But I believe, again, back to my point, I believe that there are core things that you have to trust and believe and allow those things to guide your life, because they will aid you, they will assist you in finding true happiness, number one, peace and joy, and it will allow you to make those contributions to the spiritual evolution of humanity, which the message said so beautifully today, which again is a core principle of who we are, regardless of whether you're aware of it or not. We're all here to do our part. We all have a role in moving life forward. We have to participate. It requires that we participate. And you will only do that to your fullest potential if you believe. And I like the very first statement. I believe I am wonderfully made. I've never really even thought of myself that way. However, I've maybe said it or thought it in different terms, but to see it put that way and that short, it was just so beautiful that, again, when I read this piece, I'm like, there's my podcast right there. That's it. I've got to share this. I believe I am wonderfully made. Now, just think about that and say that out loud. When you get a moment to yourself, just say that say it out loud, say it silently, and then think about what that really means. What does it mean for you to be wonderfully made? That in and of itself is so powerful. And again, once you start to believe it, and so one way, let me give you a best practice. One way to believe things, to believe in something great, to believe in beauty, to believe in what's wonderful, spiritual evolution, God, source, universe, your ability to overcome any limitations, whatever it may be, is you have to consistently think about it. Place it around you. Make it a part of your fiber, your everyday, moves, and put it in your sight. Again, like I enjoy, going back to one of my practices that I believe in, is I believe in setting myself up for success. And one thing that I know helps me set myself up for success is inspiring myself every day. And so this website is one small piece of what I do every day to inspire myself every day, to remind myself of the beauty, to start to reiterate and instill in me such positive, powerful thoughts first thing in the morning. I try and do it within the first couple of hours that I'm up at some point. Usually there's meditation and there's exercising and things like that going on. But usually as soon as I get an opportunity, I will click on that site and see what the message is for today. And so if you really want to embrace and embody this message, then, for example, take this message down. You can email it to yourself. You can screenshot it, or you can type it into your phone. And actually, it changes every day. So at midnight, I think it's Eastern time, the message goes away and then a new message comes up. So you have to get it within that 24-hour period. However, continue to say it, repeat it, read it multiple times, breathe it in, know that it's part of you. So I guess in closing, I could just go on and on and on about this because it's such a beautiful message. But I just want you to remember that the essence of who we are is what we believe. And you can choose what to believe. You can choose to believe things are always going to be bad. You can believe things are always going to be good or somewhere in between, or they change. You can believe in God, source, universe. You can believe in humanity. You can believe in limitations. You can believe in whatever you want. However, if you really want to move your life to its highest place, to its highest functionality, to be the best and greatest individual that you can be in the collective, it's better when you believe positive things, great things, focus on those things, and really work to make those happen, not only for yourself, but for others around you. Because again, we're here to play our role, be a part of this spiritual, soul-led evolution of humanity. And if you believe in these great things, they will more willingly become who you are. And it makes you more powerful. It gives you that ability to live all out, to live at your full potential. Because when you're living at your full potential, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And when you're doing that, others around you, it's infectious. Others around you will do the same thing. And the spiritual evolution that the message talks about starts to take place. I mean, it's happening now. It's always happening. The only question is, how much of a role will you play? How much will you do? How much are you willing to contribute? What do you really believe? So I'm going to leave you with that first line, and then I'm going to get out of here. I believe I am wonderfully made. I believe you are wonderfully made, each and every one of you. Let's be wonderfully made together. Let's wonderfully make this world a beautiful, excellent, great place to live and exist in. I'll talk to you all again very soon. Be good now. Bye.
You've been listening to Self-Love is the New Sexy with W. Mark Watts. If you enjoyed today's show, be sure to tell a friend. Also, make sure you never miss an episode by subscribing to our show on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, or wherever you listen to podcasts.